7 p.m. kickoff, Independence Bowl Stadium.
This is where we hold them.
Grambling State Tigers.
This is where we fight.
Langston University Lions.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Shreveport Kickoff Classic. Get tickets at Ticketmaster and all usual outlets. Sponsored by the state of Louisiana, City of Shreveport, Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, Caddo Parish, and visit Shreveport Bossier.
Grambling Classic. Went in the dust.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're getting in here. I'd like to welcome everybody to the HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky Miller. I'm along here with the co-host, the Rattler, Mr. Stephen Campbell, and your featured host, Where One Night in Mississippi. Or was it Texas Southern, Coach?
Both the year 84 and 85, Coach.
Battling Willie the Satellite Totten and Jerry Rice against all odds. Johnnie Cole endeavored to defeat the Devils, the Delta Devils. In an attempt to defeat them, he threw 6 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he was defeated in that game. But he definitely left an impression on Jerry Rice, the gunslinger, and Willie Totten. With no further ado, my man, Johnnie Cole.
Bishop, I don't know if he like the 6 touchdowns or that we lost. I don't know which one to get off on, man. Probably got my butt kicked.
Hey, Coach, you gave him the devil that night, Coach. You gave him the business.
Yeah, man. I had a great night, but I had a lot of great guys around me. I was the unfortunate one. All my receivers, they went to go play pro ball, pro and Canadian ball. I was at home. So,
hey, Coach, but you found something to do in the meantime, Coach.
Without a doubt. You know, the guy who taught me the game, Lionel Taylor, man, ended up giving me a full-time job right out of high school. So what can I say? But we got this week coming, college football at its best coming, starting on Thursday. UAB and Alabama State, that's a big one. We got Southern, Mississippi Valley, that's another big one. When you're talking about HBCUs are clashing, and the man we about to bring on, we're going to put on the show, the commercial, and then we're going to bring the head coach of Langston University in.
Rivalry is back. Shreveport Kickoff Classic. The Battle of the Big Cats. Saturday, August 30th in Shreveport, 7 p.m. kickoff, Independence Bowl Stadium.
This is where we hold them.
Grambling State Tigers.
This is where we fight.
Langston University Lions.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Shreveport Kickoff Classic. Get tickets at Ticketmaster and all usual outlets. Sponsored by the state of Louisiana, City of Shreveport, Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, Caddo Parish, and visit Shreveport Bossier.
Hey, Coach, what's going on, man?
All right, Coach, how about yourself? Hey, excuse me, Coach. I know how you are about attire, man. I just got to practice. So, normally I'll be dressed for the occasion, Coach. So forgive me. Give me a pass on this one here.
Well, we're trying to show you some love on. We got the video. Unfortunately, stuff ain't working a little slow tonight. Let me just say that, because we definitely want to honor you. We want to let folks know that I'm going to call one now, Quinton, the next head football coach, probably at Arkansas Pine Bluff. I didn't say that, did I?
You did, Coach.
But We just want to make sure that people don't sleep on you. You know, no more since our show started that people sleep on these good coaches, and we want to expose that. Is it gonna come on, coach, or we gonna move on?
Hey, it played, coach.
Did it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it played?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we just didn't see it. Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. Hey, with no further ado, the man, the myth, 59 wins and 22 losses.
No, correct it. Correct him, coach.
71 wins, 29 losses.
Okay, well, 71.
Yes, sir.
Give me my other 20.
Yes, sir. So that was probably from 18, 19. I mean, roughly around at 18, 19, 20. I've had a couple of seasons that stacked up to now. I'm like at 71 wins and 29 losses. I'm looking to hit that 75 win mark this year, somewhere around midpoint of the season.
Yeah, then we need to get you out of there. You know, we need to get you off of welfare. You know, and so you can really do some damage. Okay,
Yes, sir.
71 wins and 29 losses, man.
Yes, sir.
The man has great experience. He's been there for a while. He's kept them on top. 1-10-0 season. Also another championship in the league, because it seems like Langston jumped from league to league to league out there.
Yeah, we started off in the CSFL, which is the Central States Football League, and then from there, the Sooner Athletic picked up football, and so when the Sooner picked up football, we all left the CSFL and transitioned to the Sooner, which was a more prestigious conference, specifically when it comes to like baseball, your softball, and your basketball. And so when they added football on to their list of sports up under the conference, all the schools that were in the CSFL kind of like transitioned over. But then we also got some schools that were not in our conference that came by way of Arizona and a couple other different places, Arkansas, down in Houston. So it's just a mix of multiple different schools with great programs, though, Coach.
Yeah. Now, have you guys ever thought about joining the SIAC? Or it's just too far? It'd just be too much money on the travel?
I think that would be the case right now. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be a little bit too far for us to travel. At one point in time, I do know for a fact that when I was attending here, finishing up, we were in transition to make that jump to the CAC, but we never did, okay? And then we ended up staying in NAIA. Man, I would love that competition every week. You know, it's a big difference for playing against your PWIs every week as opposed to playing against your HBCUs. And if we can have that HBCU schedule every week, we would love that.
Yeah, one thing about you was, you came from a winning program. You're a Jacksonian as well.
Yes,
Jackson
sir.
State, Big Blue.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I played a little bit there. Played a little baseball and a little football at Jackson State, but I started off my collegiate career at Southern University up under the tutelage of Coach Roger Kadar. One of the legendary baseball coaches. You know, it was a blessing to be up on them for the time that I was. I learned a whole lot from him, and as well as when I got to Jackson State, I had the opportunity to play up under Coach Mark Salter and Coach Omar Johnson, who's currently the head baseball coach at Jackson State right now. Learned a lot of life lessons from those guys. And then at the time I was out there also playing football too. And at that time, Coach James Bell was the head coach up at Jackson State. So I was there during his tutelage and got the opportunity to play up under Greg Johnson and learned a lot from Coach Johnson, man. That he was the person that gave me my opportunity in the coaching, and I'm so grateful that he did that. So that's one of the trees that I fell from up under as well. Coach Greg Johnson, he was the defensive coordinator at Jackson State, and he left there and became the head coach at Langston for his second term. And we went down to Langston with him, and we created that winning culture back here in Langston. We recreated it back in 2005, and we've just been soaring ever since.
Right. Well, let me make sure I let people know who they're talking to. Again, he's 71 and 29. He's been in Langston as the head college football coach, 2 championships, so that makes him a championship coach, a 10-0 season, and he's done it with only 13 scholarships, and that might be just 13 right now. You might have at one time was at 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I've
well,
been
you know
there.
how it is. The cost of
Yeah.
tuition goes up, but the budget, doesn't really move. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And coach, to be honest with you, I had that 10-0 season, but it really was like 20-0, okay, for regular season, because I had the Lightning cancellation against Southern. So that game was that was the loss the very next year after the undefeated season. It was a Lightning cancellation. So technically we would have went 20-0 in the regular season. And but yeah, coach, it's been a beautiful ride here, coach. I love it. This place has been great to me. It gave me this opportunity to be a head coach, and so I'm forever, grateful and indebted here at Langston.
Yeah, so we got a lot of fans, man. We had 2 million members. I forgot to thank them when we opened up, guys. That we had 2 million views last year. So we want to make sure that when they start, all these folks start talking about coaches, because of course there's a carousel, there's what, of course, coach, there's a hot seat, and viewers don't understand that there's 2 type of coaches, one to get hired and one to get fired. And if you've been in this business long enough, you've been on both sides of the desk. So when you guys start talking and looking about a coach, you need to look at Quinton Morgan. I don't think there's a guy out there that's 70-something and 29. I mean, that's an incredible record. He got the school going in the right direction, the football program going in the direction. Just think if he had a little more, Coach, how do you do it? Do you get your support from your university as well as the academic side or academic money? How do you put these scholarships together to keep getting?
It's kind of like you hit it right there. You go after scholars, and you kind of like gotta make the money balance up to make sure we put these kids in a good situation. I'm not one of those coaches that get kids here and put them in a situation that's going to have them in depth throughout the rest of their lives, man. That's unfair to them. So I try to get them here and put them in the best situation as possible when it comes to, funding. So we look for those kids who have those great GPAs, so we can take a little bit of academic money and use that with athletic money and make the cost feasible as possible for these young men and that come here and play for me. So that's part of the process, to be totally honest with you, Coach.
Now you great go up against this Goliath named Grambling up in Shreveport on their land. You got 13 scholarships. You're going up there with pop guns, playing a team with machine guns. How you feeling about that? Of course, I know you, but you probably need to tell the viewers, you ain't this ain't no money game for you. With Coach Joseph, y'all work together.
Yeah.
Y'all good friends.
I consider this game as a family affair. I call Uncle, Coach Joseph. It's like an uncle to me. He's been around me for a long time. I coached with him here, as you stated, Coach Cole, and I learned a lot from him. To be totally honest with you, what I do know about Coach Joseph, he's a very kind individual, man. The man to give you the shirt off his back, and he expressed that and showed that when he was a coach here. When I was just a young grad assistant coach, he took me up under his wing. It was times I didn't have, and he made sure I have. So he became more like family, and I learned from his brother Vance as well. So I got an opportunity to pick their minds and take what I've learned from them and use it in my own recipe. And so I'm grateful that I had those individuals come across me. But come Saturday, it's just a game, Coach. It's a game. They got to put their pants on the same way we do, one leg at a time. The 65 scholarships, that does not intimidate me. I can care less about that because at any given day, Team B can come and beat Team A if Team A doesn't come to play. So our goal is just to keep our head down and work hard and stay humble, Coach, to be honest with you. Everything going to take care of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, now, you wouldn't sneak in there with that humble attitude with me. I know you in there trying to set some up. I know you got them kids fired up out there, Coach.
Absolutely though, Coach. They a lot of my
This,
kids won't get this experience again. You know, I've had the experience of being at a capital city classic and being in it. You know what I'm saying? And seeing the atmosphere of a real HBCU classic or football game when you look on both sides and it's packed. There's standing room. I've had that experience, and I'm glad that my kids are going to get this opportunity to be able to see what I had the opportunity to experience as a SWAC player and as a HBCU graduate. When it's all said and done, we all HBCUs.
yeah.
Whether
See,
it's the
this,
SWAC,
this,
SEAC, us NAI, we all HBCUs, and I think that this is a great time for us to show a great competitive game, and at the same time show unity, Coach.
yeah.
Because we all won when it's all said and done.
Well, I'm gonna make sure our viewers know now. You're a sleeping giant. You're a Louisiana boy
Yes,
from
sir.
New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
You get a lot of your players from down there. I know you with the sorry story. You want us to go to sleep, then all of a sudden Langston is don't beat Grambling this coming week. But he ain't. Look, this is a guy that knows his football. He's a great recruiter. He has contacts in Louisiana. How do you got a what they call that?
Coach,
It
I'm
used to be
all
called
over,
the
Coach.
Underground Railroad, but y'all.
Coach, I'm trying to bring Midwest to the South, Coach.
Okay.
All right. I already got my paws in the South, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. I touched them, but I'm bringing the Midwest down that way. So you're gonna get kids. You're gonna see kids from Oklahoma, Kansas, California, Louisiana, Texas. My roster is a very I would say
Diverse.
it's diverse roster. Yes, and not just in geography, but I'm gonna say in culture as well, Coach.
Yeah. You do a good job, Coach. Talk about your coaches. I mean, of course, I've said it.
I'm nothing without them, Coach. I'm nothing without them. That's the reason why I can sit here in front of you guys and speak about 71 wins and 29 losses. I'm just a face, but I got some men that work behind me that help make this easier for me to get up here and talk about. I got a group of guys that believe in my vision and my philosophy, and they all dug in, and we've been successful at it. And I think our most important attribute that we have that most coaches are forgetting about is that we love to develop young men. That's our biggest thing. We believe in developing young men, not just in football, but in life in general.
Yeah, let me, because I know my guys, they biting at the bit. They got your stats and all that. They ain't gonna let you. We ain't gonna let you sneak out of here. Here's the number one question. This is almost, and my guys, y'all gonna laugh for this. The number one question, talking to y'all HBCU coach, man, do you got the starting quarterback, or you ain't gonna announce it till game time?
I ain't about to give Mickey. Coach, I'm not about to give Mickey nothing he can go look up on. I saw the interview. If he don't want to give you nothing, I'm not about to give you nothing. What did he tell you, Coach? They're gonna have to go do the research, huh? Ain't that what he said on the interview call? I seen what Uncle told you. He said, yeah, they're going to do that. I ain't going to give all that. They're going to do their research. That's what he said, Coach. I seen him.
Hey, I thought the starting quarterback always is on the front page of the program.
Coach, listen, mine are going to battle it out until we get ready to get on the bus.
Man, but I tell you, that's Rocky, that's why I hate the spread offense. I hate the spread offense. It's killing our quarterback.
Hey, Coach, all the coaches.
I didn't say we running the spread though, Coach. I didn't say that though.
Hey, everybody playing hide the quarterback. You understand?
Yeah. Don't nobody want to give up who gonna be behind the center.
We're there when that ball kicked out. Gotta run out there.
This is true. Now, Coach, can I digress right quick, because I do want to say something that I told my guys, my football players. I'm proud of them, Coach. This year, my kids had the cumulative of a 3.14 GPA average.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh. So that's something that needs to be, bragged about more than my championships and my wins, to be totally honest with you. I took a program that had a cumulative of a 2.4, and now within my 10-year span, it's up to a 3.14 cumulative. So that means that's the average of the team. And so I'm very, very proud of it. I hit the 3.0 mark last year, and this year we raised the bar again to a 3.14. So this is just a shout out to my players. Coach is so proud of y'all understanding that we're using this sport, not letting it use us.
Well, let me shout this out too, because academics and athletics go together. But I gotta shout out your record. You average 7.29 wins a year. You 7 wins. You gonna get 7 wins,
Yes,
man. That's outstanding, man. So, hey, go ahead, guys. I'll come back a little later and ask. I just want to warm you up a little bit.
Coach, you got what I consider a big game coming up, Coach, and I just want to know, have you, in your past 10 years, have you had an opportunity like this before to take down Goliath? And how did it go last time?
Well, I spoke about that. I actually I hadn't had opportunity to coach as head coach against Grambling, but we have had that game against Southern back in I want to say 19. So I understand the lay of the land and the atmosphere, what it's going to be like, and I've been doing my best to prepare our kids. I think one of the biggest things that we're going to have to adjust to is the crowd noise and the bands. Because when we're in our conference game, we're the only team with a big band, and so they got rules and bylaws for us that we can't play in certain times. So our band can't be our our extended hand. So we're gonna have to get accustomed to basically the crowd noise and the bands, and that's something that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. We've had the speakers blasting real loud so where the guys can't hear us, and they just got to understand hand signals. So it's little things like that I'm trying to have them see before the game hits, and then we look discombobulated out of there.
Okay. Coach, the other thing I want to ask for your players, for the guys that are taking advantage of this opportunity. Coach mentioned the term money game. Coach, that's something that where NAIA schools and NCAA school, FCS schools play the likes of Nebraska and Ohio State for money.
Mm-hmm.
In this era, I think these are money games in a different way, Coach. With NIL, a player from your school like yours can go show his talent on the stage with Grambling and earn himself potentially an opportunity to make some money in college as well. Absolutely. As a coach, do you talk about that opportunity that your players have when they go play schools like Grambling and bigger schools?
Absolutely. I think you we've been foolish not to, and especially if you care about the kids and you want to see them in a better situation, and that's how I am. When it all comes down to it, man, I love my kids first. The kids will be before the logo because those are the ones who helped me keep the logo on my chest. And so, when it comes to them bettering themselves and helping their family, man, you gotta push for that for these babies. We got to. And so I've already used that selling point about this game, believe it or not, letting them know that, hey, this is going to be a big stage. You go out there and no telling who may get an NIL, no telling who may get a call up. As for example, like last year we played against UCO, University of Central Oklahoma. They ended up being one of the top Division II teams in the nation. They roughly lost right around the semifinals, but a lot of guys off that team got big time NIL deals. Okay, so one of the young men, I think he ended up at Oklahoma State and got a huge NIL deal, the receiver that they had. I can't call his name off top, but I do know for a fact that was running around our press up here in Oklahoma. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for our kids, man. I wish the best for them. I pray that one of them can get someone attention and get an NIL deal and change their situations.
I always wonder about that, Coach, because at the end of the day, it improves the kid's circumstance if they can.
Correct.
Whether they take it or not, it's up to them. But the opportunity of it, get a kid having an opportunity where you only have 13 scholarships and they could possibly get a full ride and some money to go along with it, Coach. I'm glad that you're a guy that knows that that's an opportunity for a kid and is willing to express that openly with your team.
Yeah, you can't. There's no blessings being selfish like that. There won't be any blessings coming to you, worried about your wins and losses as opposed to making sure that this kid is stable. Because some of this can be generational wealth for these kids, So no, I'm not a selfish individual like that. Nah, no.
But with that being said, Coach, who are some of the guys, without giving any secrets away, that could make an impact in this game on
Let's see,
Saturday?
I got the simplest way I can do this here. I got JT, PH. I got a couple of initials I can give you that I think are going to show up at this game. But I'm not going to give you no names. You know, I can give you some initials. You know, I got a couple of them that's going to show up. But no, it's a couple of guys that I got, you know, in program right now that they still got to prove themselves to me in order for me to be mentioning their name over these airwaves. You know, and so I'm gonna keep it like that. We're still working. We're still trying to put everything together, and you know, we're excited about this. And we can't wait to get on the field with Grambling because this is going to be our first measuring test of the year. You know, even though it's a big game to some, to us, we're looking at it as a warm up for us to get in the conference. So you know, my goal is to win our conference and go on into, you know, playoff play. That's my long-term goal.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this. Can you tell me how many players you were able to retain off last season? Then how many players?
Roughly about 60.
Okay, and how many?
I had 155 in camp.
Jesus, Coach, what they dress up? They like old school, dress up in their room and come to practice.
No sir.
Man, they double up and triple up in the locker room. Hell, I've been there. I know. You'd be 3 helmets in one locker.
We had about 155 in camp. We have 155 in camp.
You must mandatory showers. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I remember in Lane's shoot, man. Look, that was one of the things we had to do. They hadn't turned the shower on since the school was built. So we had to come and go. We built it ourselves with our own hands.
I remember coming to Lane when I was a young grad assistant and playing against y'all, Coach. I was on staff with Greg when we came up there, Coach. I was just a young pup. Like I'm telling you, I watched all you old greats, man. Y'all paved the way for us, and Coach, I want to thank you, man.
I appreciate your office look fantastic, man. You look D1 up in there.
Coach, look, listen, me and my fiance, Amber, we got in here, and this is me and her work, man, and we got in here, we painted this ourselves, you know. Yeah. I got a woman that digs in and she helps, and I love her to death for it.
Sound like you, Coach. Bill to know you and Coach LC putting in lockers and all that kind of stuff in Lane. I'd heard those stories, Coach.
You don't complain about it, Coach. You love your HBCU, and this came out of our pockets. You know what I'm saying? We paid for this out of our pockets, everything that we done in here. And I'm not gonna get up here and bash like, oh no, my school didn't do it. No, this is just something that this is us giving back. You know, the school has given me so much, so this is us giving back.
Yeah, y'all see those 2 trophies back there? You know,
so I got 3 of them, Coach. So I got a couple of them back there. You just
I
really got 3 conference championships. So I got 3 conference championships, not 2. You've been telling people 2, but it's all good. I still love you. but yeah, Coach. She's done a great job, Coach. She's my biggest support system, man. And this is the reason why my office looked the way it does. We actually took a time out of our weekend and we painted it and did all the hard work ourselves.
Yeah. So and what's your slogan back in the back, Coach?
Hard work is the company of success, Coach. That's me.
Okay.
You can't have one without the other. There's no such thing as winning championships without the hard work put in.
Well, you won't give us some players, but I know who will give us some players. Come on, Bishop. I know you got the players.
Well, you know, Coach, you see I got the background. You see what I got. Right?
I see you, bro.
You see how we rolling, Coach.
I see you rolling.
Listen, man. I've been, when you first came on, young brother, I was excited to see and watch you, and you're back on. But I was getting ready to go one direction. You guys are going to have to give me just a few minutes because this brother here, Coach, let me tell you something. I've been championed, right? You know how you go to the barbershop and stuff like that, and you have fathers with their sons, right?
Yeah.
So I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And what I have found out, we have a lot of black men. And again, I always say this, mothers have like football too, but I'm just talking to the fathers. And we have a lot of the fathers that don't know about HBC football. They know about the Georgias and the Oklahomas and Texas and things like that. And they had their kids. I was watching their boys because they, hey, Mr. Campbell, I know you know somebody in football, and send me their huddle tapes, right? And I'm like, listen, man, let me tell you something. I know your kid wants to go to Georgia. I know your kid. But I'm telling you something. There's some great places where he can actually play, develop, get a great education. So I saw a question in the chat because I'm going to say that I got a lot of these barbershop daddies watching because of me, right?
Okay.
And this is, I think, is important because this would hit these kids' fathers. You made a statement that you raised that GPA, right? What did you do specifically? I know you recruited, they say scholars, but because that has a lot to do with you on the focus. So I'm going to talk about your players and say, but I want to just drive that home because we got a lot of daddies that understand that if they can get the length to get coached by you, that their kids not only are going to be scholars, they're going to be graduates and things like that. So I want you to just hit on that real point real quick. I don't want to gloss over that.
The way I feel about academics, I feel like it's more important than what happens on the field. Okay. And the reason why is because I feel like I'm just like every other coach. If I'm pushing football, how can get you better in football? All right. That's going to come. My biggest goal is to make sure that these babies have something set up for after football. Okay. And that's what stuck with me most, because the most scariest part of my career, it was graduating and not knowing what was next, coach. You get what I'm saying, Coach Cole? You done played your 4 years, right?
Yeah.
You done gave this coach everything that you got. But then when you graduate, there's no sense of direction of what step I need to take next. So after experiencing that myself, you know what I'm saying, I felt like it's my due diligence to make sure that my kids don't have to experience the same fear that I did when I graduated.
Right.
So when it comes to these job fairs, all this type of stuff, job fairs and resume building seminars and how to dress for your interview, we funnel our kids in there for that type of stuff. Right. Because we want them to understand it. Yeah, football is just your access to get what you need later on in life. You can't play this forever. So, you know, and that's my goal, to change their mindset about using football, not letting football use them. And that's what I've done. You know, I told them to stop letting football use them. And what I mean by that is they come, they play for you, and they give you the bare minimum academically when these babies are a whole lot smarter than that. And I am, I would say, I would be one of the first people to say that is something that I admit that I'd done when I was in college, right? Football was everything. Baseball was everything to me, right? And the thing that showed the most longevity, that could sustain the most longevity and help me succeed in life, I put it on the back burner and kind of like halfway done it. So as a head coach now, I got to make sure I had to reverse my mindset of thinking, and I got to reverse these kids' mindset of thinking, because that's the way they're thinking too. They looking for the get-rich-quick scheme, all right? And that's the NFL, the major leagues. But in actuality, that's not always the right path. So it's just about checks and balances and making sure that they got their head on right and understanding that the body can only endure this for so long. So make sure you have a backup plan.
Yeah. May I piggyback off your deal, Bishop? Can you give us, Coach, an example of when one of your players wasn't doing it? How did you go? I know my first year at Texas Southern, we were playing Prairie View, and one of my kids didn't go to class. You know, we had signed in, and they got the information back to us, and I kind of, hey man, you suspended for this game, because at that time I had to make some points because it was early in my career. What are some of the things that you've done to make sure that these kids understand you ain't playing?
Oh, I call parents first and foremost to make them understand what is going on. I want
to make sure parents, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. It takes a village. It takes a village to do what we're trying to do. Like, I'm not in it just for the sports, you know. I don't think God blessed me to be in this position just to talk about football, you know what I'm saying, to make sure the X's and O's is right. Nah, he got me here for a reason, man. And it's to help these young men, you know, throughout their trials and tribulations in life. And I can only teach them through my experiences. I can't teach them from something I didn't learn from. And so I think that's all what it is, Coach.
Yeah. Any stories that you might have to sit up there and
I
sit?
utilize that big four. I know you know what the big four is, huh, Coach? Y'all got the big four, Coach. I utilize that big four a whole lot, Coach. And then I also, Coach, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I tax the whole team if one don't go to class.
No, wait a minute, Coach. Now, wait a minute. Now, we got late people. Now, you can't be throwing our turn. Tell our listeners what the big four is.
Oh, big four. Okay, big four is basically you bear crawl 100 yards down and you bear crawl 100 yards back. Okay, and then after that you basically burpee 100 yards down and you burpee 100 yards back, and then after that you roll. Okay, you roll down 100 yards and you roll back, and then after that you got bag push. You push the bag down for 100 yards and you push it back. So that's just one thing. But if it's continuous, then definitely I have to visit with your parent guardian to let them know what's going on so we can get on the same page and make sure that, the kid get in academic compliance.
Hey, Coach.
Wait, hold on, hold on 1 second. Wait, were you going to talk about this or you go?
Yeah. I'm talking about this. And Coach, after he experiences that big four, if he don't get it then, Coach, he may need some remedial training or something.
And then it turned into a big 8.
Oh, my Lord.
Hey, Coach, if he don't get it there, I don't think he's going to be there that long with you. I know you're not going to have that too much anyway.
Emmett Jones say Dawn Patrol. That's what we used to call it, Dawn Patrol.
Yeah, Dawn Patrol. Make sure they go into class. But I typically don't really have that problem. And then I'm not going to even tell you a story. Our academic rep, Dr. Delk, he does a great job of keeping us abreast of what's going on with our student athletes. Even though I know we're in the heart of the season, you can't just get tunnel vision on what's going on the football field. You got to make sure these babies are doing what they need to be doing in the classroom as well.
Now, Coach, I wanted to talk about, first of all, I wanted to point out something. They've got you third behind Texas Wesleyan and Ottawa University. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're third, but those guys have way more resources and scholarships than you do, don't they, Coach?
Absolutely. Both programs.
So, Coach,
both programs are sitting at 24 scholarships.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sitting at 13. Yeah. 13.
And you right the striking distance to win the conference. Now, Coach, do you all, because I was looking, does the Student Athletic, do they do a preseason all-conference team or anything like that?
Kind of, yeah, they do, but I don't. They do one, and it's already been set out the preseason polls and everything. But I don't think I've received the actual printout of it that came out after. To be told.
Well, do you have any players from all conference last year that are back that are going to make an impact?
Yeah, I have Keelan Mosley, my starting linebacker. Levon Williams is a tight end who's going to be great. That's one I would definitely push to try to get into the Legacy Bowl. And also Kevin Allen, my leading receiver. We're working on some stuff right now to get him back his year because his sophomore year he got hurt in the 4th game of the season. So we're working on getting that year back for him. But those three, I mean those two, I definitely would can throw off the top of your head some go-getters for us.
Now, Coach, when you're looking at these type of players that you got, let me ask you this. At your level, are you looking to build more? Because we've had various coaches with various different ways of building a team. Are you building your team for guys, hey, let me get you from high school or as a JUCO, or are you looking in the transfer portal for a couple of diamonds in the rough to say, if you come over here with me, I can put you in that next level?
I'm more of I love a strong foundation. And the foundation comes from the incoming freshman, okay? You typically don't have a lot of I guess you would say exchange when you start from with freshmen. And so just building a strong foundation, because eventually the patch job, which is what I call the transfer portal, that's just the patch job. When you're weak at a position, you go in there and you grab one, okay? But if you build your program on patch jobs, eventually it's going to crumble apart. You got to have a sound foundation. And, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these kids that's jumping from school to school, okay? It's the reason why they're jumping. It's definitely a reason why they're jumping. And I've had some Division I guys come here thinking that the logo and what it came from was going to, change things. But then when they realize and they get out here in our domain, they realize, hey, we all the same. Because we have Division I talent here too, So it's all on the kid.
Yeah, you know Trey Oliver.
Yeah, Trey Oliver over there.
Head coach in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah, yes, sir.
You guys sound y'all have somewhat the same philosophy.
He'll win a coach.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll win.
Shit,
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah,
look.
I actually got the chance. I actually got a chance to meet Trey. He's a good guy, and I asked him about playing the game, and because I'm like one of those guys that, man, listen, I don't care who it is, let's line up.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy. I would love to sit down and visit with him and learn from him and pick his head.
Gotcha. Bishop, you.
Well, I'm gonna get one last thing, Coach. Looking at your schedule and look at how it breaks down. One of the things, you've got the Grambling game, you go to Louisiana Christian, Rio Grande, but then on that back end, it looks like a couple of your tougher teams. When you're kind of navigating with the amount of scholarships, with the players that you do have, do you kind of break your schedule up in segments? Hey, we got a 3-game segment here, 3 here, 3 here. We're going to finish up. We want to be positive in each segment, because I've seen a lot of coaches, they don't like to talk about the schedule, but I know they like to manage the schedule, if you know what I mean.
I got to sweep October. October is my big one. I have to sweep October. Okay, if I sweep October, then we look in the playoff round. Like, I just got to sweep October. Get through September and sweep October.
See, that's what we wanted to hear. So, Coach, you know what? One of the things, now we're gonna come back because we know you're gonna sweep it. Now I'm gonna have a broom ready when we bring you on, okay?
Yeah,
then we're gonna have to auction it off and do something like that, because we gotta get that money in there for you, okay?
That's
so I'm gonna make sure I have that nice broom, them Langston colors, and we're gonna have to auction that thing off.
Sound like a play.
All right.
Yeah, I used to house Texas Wesleyan out of Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they were really, really trying to build that program. And is this the same Ottawa that played in the KCAC?
No, this is that Ottawa there is still in the KCAC, because this is a branch off of that.
Okay.
So imagine in Arizona, and forgive me if I'm messing this up, but in Arizona, they shut down that division. I mean, the JUCO football, right?
Right.
And the only thing they really have is basically Northern Arizona and the Division Ones.
Right.
So that Ottawa and Kansas, they put a mock school together, and they just did it for basically to check and see what kind of I guess you would say static they would get. They put it out there, and they based it out of Arizona. And before you know it, they had people applying, and then they realized they had to go ahead on and turn it into a school. So they just took a mock and they just made it and they put it out there. So it's just gonna be online classes, and before you know it, boom, it ended up being a school, and they have it set up right there in Surprise, Arizona, Coach. And they out there by the who is that? The spring training facility. So when you go play them, you're looking at all these different Major League Baseball stadiums. So they're around money. So and they got money. They built a brand new football stadium, beautiful facility. Oh, look, coach, they figured out where to tap into more students at in Arizona, and the game plan that they put together, it worked, and now that school is booming and soaring. I don't see them lasting too much longer in NAIA, to be totally honest with you, as well as Texas Wesleyan. Like, the funding in there has changed a whole lot too. I can see them possibly bumping up to Division II or Division One AA before you know it as well.
Now you actually play in Arizona?
I actually play in Arizona, because we have to fly out. We fly out to Surprise every other year. And then when we had Arizona Christian and Ottawa in the conference, it was every year we were taking a trip out of there. But now Arizona Christian is out of our conference.
So are you coming out here this year?
No, sir. They come to me this year, and then we'll return the favor next year.
Oh man, I thought I was gonna be able to.
I know, Coach. I know, man. I would love to see you out there, man. I would have had you out there on the sideline with me.
well, look, Coach. We had a great time at the SWAC MEAC Challenge. We got to meet the legend, Pete Richardson.
Wow.
All of us did. Shit, man, I'm going to get in thinking like some of us, man. Unfortunately, it might be some jobs open in Louisiana, and, man, you're a Louisiana boy. You ain't got to say nothing.
Right down the street from Baton Rouge. Yes, sir.
Hey, look, we look between us three. We gonna find a spot for you, Coach.
See,
There we go. Hey,
Coach, you take me back now, Coach. Listen, I met Pete, Coach Richardson. They were recruiting me at the time when I did sign with us. So I was being looked at from baseball and football.
yeah,
And Coach Pete Richardson was one of the guys that I got the opportunity to talk. So I left Southern because Coach Kadar wouldn't let me play football, y'all. That's what happened.
Well, let me make sure I let the fans know that man on the left that you seeing, he owned the Chicken Shack.
Get out of here.
And he's one of the number one. Man, when you say take care of the coaching staff and make sure we have a meal, he loves Southern. And of course, Pete Richardson is to the right. Yeah. My high school coach, man. We had a wonderful time.
Coach, that was your high school coach. Coach Pete Richardson was your high school coach.
Yeah, he coached me and all my brothers.
Wow.
Yes.
Man.
Pete is from Ohio. He's from Youngstown. Played with the Buffalo Bills. So when they talk about professional coaches, I mean, Pete played in the NFL, but once again, you know, I'm a big guy on doing it the right way. He went on to North Carolina and coached at Winston-Salem under Coach Hayes and all those great guys.
Now, did he do a little stint at Elizabeth City as well, too?
Yeah, and then he coached at Winston-Salem.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And then went on to take the job at Southern University, and the rest is history.
That's a beautiful story. It's coaches like Coach Pete that inspire me. You know, his situation is no different from mine. You know, he had a small school, and when he got his opportunity in the
what Rocky got excited, hitting buttons over there.
Yeah. My bad, guy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying that, you know, he it's the inspiration when you know, as a coach, you know, you look at and you see where, you know, these guys who are legends, you know, start off at and then where they end up at. You know, it's no different than, for example, Coach Joseph. You know, he's here with me, and then he make it to the top. He's at Nebraska as the head coach, interim head coach, and then he's the head coach at Grambling right now. And I can remember in 2008, me and him walking across the field at Grambling. So this is going to be a kind of like it's going to have a lot of sentimental value to it, because I can remember as a grad assistant, me and him walking across the field. At the end of the game, we walking to the hill now. I know where the hill at Grambling. All right, we walking across the field to the hill together. Now, whoever thought that almost 20 years later, 25 years later, that we'd be across from one another coaching against each other him at Grambling and me at Langston.
We want you to be walking down the hill.
I'm walking down it.
Yeah. So you're gonna be one of our HBCU Coaches Corners, man. You focus on having a great season, and
yes, sir.
You know, we know and see the work that you putting in this game, man, and we've put a lot of good coaches out there as well. You know, we ain't saying that we get them hired, but we sure help them, huh, Rocky?
Oh yeah.
No, Coach, I just thank y'all for y'all time and just acknowledging what I've done, man. That means a lot. You know, it keeps a humble person working, you know, and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for all of us upcoming coaches. You know, it's always a pleasure to sit down and visit with you guys.
Man, Coach, I thank you for your time and effort. I think the guys have something to say.
Yeah, Coach, one thing now, and this is a small thing, but this is a promotion. I'm a promoter guy, right?
Okay.
Because, see, when we went to do people need to know that record that you got, right? So I want you to tell that SID to get them an intern just to update that website. Because people going to come look and check you out, Coach, and we want them to know they got them 70 wins and them players and stuff like that. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So trust me, this is not a criticism, but this is when people come on this show, people going to come check you out, Coach. They're going to come check you out.
Absolutely.
You know, so I want to make sure that we always, because like I said, I'm telling you, that barbershop, I'm going to the barbershop on Thursday, and every one of them guys go, hey, Mr. Campbell, I get Coach Mo guy. Hey, man, follow him on social media. Coach, real quick, tell everybody how they can follow you on social media. And there you go, Coach. Let's get it together.
Okay, let me get you right. Hold on. I'll tell you how you can follow me on social media.
There you go. Coach, I'm telling you, they already know.
Yeah, well,
And some of them, like I say, and the mamas, the man say he got a fiance. Okay, so
and I want to. I like to say something to them.
My Instagram is Quinton Morgan 5. Okay, and then my Facebook is just Quinton Morgan, and then my Twitter is Coach Q Morgan. So any one of those platforms, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, or you can just email me at Quinton QUINTON .Morgan MORGAN at Langston.edu. I'm very, I guess you could say, savvy on getting on my emails and checking them and responding back. So if it's someone that you think could come in and help, and he's serious about them academics and trying to develop and become a better man, please send them my way. I encourage it.
Well, I want to say too, when we talk about these blueberry programs and look, my guys got on me about putting the age on older coaches, but you got some flavor, you got some.
We lost you, Coach. You there?
It looked like he froze.
I know I heard y'all talk. Y'all talked about the Grambling internet last time. Y'all ain't about to talk about the internet.
What it was, he used that old term flavor, and it conked out on him. He threw it dial up. That's what he said. That's what it was, Coach. Hey, Coach, listen, there's a question in the chat also, and I love when people ask this question.
They
wanted to know, how can they give donation information? Is there any type of thing? Can they go to the website and check that out, or email you? They need to just email you.
LangstonSports.com. There is a link on there where you can send to our send money to our foundation, the football foundation.
All right,
it's very simple. Just go to LangstonSports.com, and I think there's a tab that says support, and then you'll see football foundation.
That's awesome. Okay, Coach. Like I said, we trying to get everybody right around here.
Well,
Coach.
Hey, can I get my word in now?
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
I'm trying to sell some here. When you guys running around talking about you need a damn coach, he young, he good looking, he damn near married, he don't prove it on the field, he don't prove it in the classroom, and we ain't got to go get no NFL guy from the running back position. We got a guy right here that need to get one of them jobs. So I just want to make sure we put that out there.
So I'll put my wins up against anybody, Coach. I thank you for speaking on that, for real. And it meant a lot for me to hear you say you don't see anyone right now with that type of record. So I thank you guys for noticing. That means a lot to me.
Yeah,
Coach. Coach, you're very impressive young man, and I look forward to following Langston this season. And I wish you guys a great outing this Saturday, Coach. I'll be paying attention for sure.
Man, thank y'all so much, man.
Ain't no way, man. Shoot a shout out to Al Wash in the Shreveport Classic,
Absolutely.
the WLA. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think they got you guys there for 3 years.
Yes, sir. Dr. Scott, Dr. Travion Scott helped put it on together. He called and they made the numbers work, and I thank him.
Man, that's a good deal for NAIA school, man. Division II. Great opportunity for you guys to get exposure, especially for you, Coach.
And Coach, you know what I told him, my coach. I said, when Grambling got Ohio State the very next week, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about Canelo and Bud, right? All right, Canelo and Bud. So when you prepare for a champ, you got to bring in the champ to prepare you for the champ.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right, Coach? You hear me? If you prepare for the national championship team, Ohio State, you're gonna have to bring in a champ to prepare you for that champ. So to us, it's like Boots Enos going there and help Canelo try to prepare for Bud. So that's how we're looking at it. Like, okay, we look at it as you thinking highly of us if you putting us right before you play against Ohio State. That's how I look at it. So in order to prepare you for a champ, you got to play a champ, and we champs.
For sure, Coach. No doubt about it.
Hard work is the company of success. I got you, Coach. Thank you for your time and all that good stuff, Coach, man. We'll be in touch, of course. and we're gonna be keeping up with you. Hopefully, we can bring you back on when you're getting ready for the championship or headed to the playoffs.
Yes, sir. God bless you, gentlemen. Y'all have a great one.
Good luck.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Oh, Coach Cole, that was another great interview, man. You can Coach Cole set that up for us, man. But I don't know if he ever worked for you, Coach, but he's definitely one of your guys, no doubt about it. And he has the pedigree and the record that says that he is a quality coach and worthy of to be looked at if, in fact, there is a job opening in HBCU football.
Man, without a doubt, Coach, man. I mean, who we got, Coach? Who we got 70 wins? This coaching today in black college football. I don't know. Yeah. Well, first of all, you ain't even been at a place that long. The coach over 7 seasons, 10 seasons.
Well, we know in the SWAC, the longest tenured coach is Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. He ain't been there. They ain't played 70 games. So you know it ain't him. And so, therefore, there's nobody in the SWAC.
Nor in the MEAC.
In the MEAC, the longest tenured coach is Trey Oliver. He started in 2019. He may have played 70 games, but we know he ain't won all his games. So he don't have 70 wins either. So that's for sure.
Right.
And so to be perfectly honest with you, Coach, he's probably the winningest active coach in HBCU football.
So whatever, whoever, and however open up next year, he should be getting an interview or a call or something, don't he?
I would think.
If you're trying to hire the right guy.
Well, Coach, let me tell you what I'm gonna say. So I might have to call Coach. He might need an agent. I might need to go be Coach Morgan's agent. He gonna see what you do. See, Coach, listen, hit your boy up, because you ain't got to tell nobody. I had a deal already done, and you be out there like in Colorado, like Dion. You see what I'm saying? So hit your boy up. I know folks. I know some people now, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to get with him. I think you're absolutely right, and he need to be having an agent like now.
Yeah.
To be making some calls, and at least he could be on some people's list.
Hey, Coach, I want to say this because we got a person that checks us out, DLOB 2010. He want to know when we gonna have Coach Hampton on this show for UAPB. He said that's the only guy we ain't had, Coach. He said other than great. So he said, is Coach Hampton mad at you too? Why we can't get this coach on?
I think we didn't have Coach Hampton on, ain't we?
Coach, I think I sent some to them today.
Well, I wasn't when
because
I
you
was
sent some to the SID, right, Coach?
Yeah, I've sent some to everybody.
All right, Coach, you got to make that backdoor call because we got to get Coach Hampton on there.
Okay, tell
this
that
brother
guy
always shows up and represents and stuff like that. And I think that'll be a good interview. I think that'll be because you know what, Coach, what I have found out too, it is not about the record about how well these coaches interview and talk to us. You know, sometimes you're shocked. You know, you look at T-Buck, you know what I mean, coming in. That was a great interview. These guys have something to say. So I just think as we're going down there, let's get them folks. Maybe we call Perry. Perry probably got a connection.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, guys, as you well know, I gave the Off Script channel almost an hour. So I appreciate everybody who has been watching on the Off Script channel. But it is that time. We're about to suspend the broadcast on the Off Script channel. But you certainly can catch the home of the HBCU Coaches Corner, the Rocky Miller channel, right here in the chat, man. I put it in there several times. I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching on Off Script, but you can switch over. Only thing you have to do is click the link, and you'll be right on. If you want me to give you a couple minutes, I'll give you a couple minutes to switch over. Once you switch over, go ahead and hit 1. Make sure you don't miss anything. I'll give you a couple minutes to switch over.
And
but
Coach, we got to get TC back on here too, Coach. You know what I mean? We had a great interview with TC. And he done moved. See, now Rocky ain't got to ask him no more prime questions. You know, he don't want his own national championship. Rocky actually ask some football questions.
No, Coach. hey, man, at the end of the day, I just wanted to understand what it was like to be over there with Prime each and every day, and he certainly made his mark in the SWAC as a coach. There's no doubt about that. And you know, and Prime actually took a lot of the players with him to Colorado, so Coach Taylor had to build his program essentially from scratch. Now he had a huge national brand by the time he took over as coach. Now I will say that Jackson State is a national brand, no doubt about it.
Well, see, but my point, you ain't got to ask me that no more now, Rocky. You done got that question out the way.
Yeah.
I do. Got to ask you no Prime questions. See,
no.
It's tough football now.
Let's switch this thing to the SWAC MEAC Challenge, Coach.
Okay.
I got a big clock in front of me, Rocky. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Coach. I got you. Yeah.
Man, we had a great time at the SWAC MEAC Challenge. We were up in the media box. We were meeting all the podcasters, all the news anchors. We had an opportunity to get on the football field and took some shots and stuff and got a chance to talk to some of the coaches. And I don't want to say I know it all, but I think I called this one, didn't I?
Yeah, Coach, you definitely called. I would say we all kind of called it. We all called
it. We called the winner, but I went a little step further and called the score. Can I?
Coach, listen, I tell you what, if somebody pulled that old tape up, because I think I was right with you on that score, Coach. I told you, you know me, I got on them Southern folks. So, no, I'm with you, though. But we'll give coaches credit because it's HBCU Coaches Corner, and you the coach. But what I will say, and, Coach, I'm going to let it get back, but I want to give you your flowers on one thing. There is a difference watching a football game with people that think they know football compared to watching football with a person who actually coached and knows football. Yeah. Coach had a telestrator screen on an iPad and was dialing up plays of what was going to happen. He was going full Tony Romo on. Full Tony Romo. Yeah. So I want people to understand, and no disrespect, everybody got these podcasts, but this is the only show that has an actual coach. So don't question the coach. Okay? Don't question the coach because he actually coached. You question other folks, but you can't question the coach. I just want to say that because that thing was amazing. We were sitting up there just talking about breakdowns and situational football and formations and things that you saw happen in real time. And you only going to get that by watching HBCU Coaches Corner. So I just want to put that out there.
Rocky set me up and we got to talking and trying to, those two big runs that was happening and what happened on those two big runs from Southern. Besides that, Central pitched a shutout, So
they were actually, and you said, at halftime, using the iPad to kind of illustrate what should be done to stop the RPOs that were happening, and it looks like, I don't know if you phoned that adjustment in to Trey Oliver or not, but they definitely made quick work of that running game, and it wasn't near as effective in the second half as it was the first half. So shout out to Coach Oliver and his staff for making the adjustment and really shutting down the Southern offense. After the game, Coach, all the talk was about, the Southern offense and what they weren't able to do in the second half, and they were only able to score due to big plays. What I watched, Coach, was a team that got annihilated by what many had anticipated to be a huge O-line that really dominated the game, and Southern couldn't really deal with them. They allowed the offensive line of NCCU allowed one sack. They had 250 yards rushing, 6.6 yards a carry, Coach. They had 3 rushing touchdowns and 23 knockdowns.
Yeah.
I don't know if 23 knockdowns is a good number, but it sounds like a pretty good number to me. Because in a boxing match, you only get 3. per round.
If they don't fumble that ball in the first half, coach, I mean, it's a runaway then, and you only punted twice in the whole game, So I think that is dominance, and for guys from Southern to come on and we were warning them about it's not fair to Terrence Graves to say that championship or bust, it's not fair, not in his second year. And hopefully you look at a championship coach and a championship program, you've seen the difference. Again, besides the fumble, I mean they played a very good football game, for it to be opening up the season.
Yeah, Coach. I think clearly NCCU is who we thought they were. They were a sound football team. They were able to do what they needed to do in order to get a victory. But I think at this point in the season, the pressure is on Terrence Graves and that Southern football team as they travel to Mississippi Valley and licking their wounds and trying to get a victory.
Well, you said that, I didn't. So, and I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the truth. Based on expectations, based on where they're seasoning it now, they have the luxury of this particular Mississippi Valley game not being a playoff game. I mean, not being a conference game, but it's a situation like this here, Campbell. They played potentially the best team in HBCU football, which is NCCU, right? If not the best, one of the top teams for sure. And now they go to Valley, right? Who is projected to be one of the worst teams.
Ditching class.
What can we expect, Campbell, from Southern traveling to Valley?
Let me ask you a question. And I know we don't know, but we've had Coach Buckley on twice. And if we're going to say, I'm going to just record-wise, not talking coaching, Thune Cookman, UAPB, and Valley before. Do you not see the difference with Coach Buckley? Just right off the rip, and his knowledge of the game and the things he's looking for right off the rip. I'm telling you something again. I don't expect Southern to lose. I do not. Southern better not lose. But what I'm going to tell you, this is just hearing Coach Buckley. And what I like when I talk to coaches, and I'm always looking for certain things, and terminology, identity. You can see Coach Buckley's got all that going. So his whole thing is, I got my system. I believe he's got his system in place. The question is, does he have enough talent to execute it? That's going to be the next step. But I tell you one thing, Southern come up there half-stepping, hey, man, this is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, I like what L. Dot said, 6'6". You can't keep getting manhandled by teams that you're supposed to compete with. I think that's a hell of a statement. We're not saying you got to win the game. Oh, you pulled it up already, didn't you, Coach? You ain't saying you got to win the game, but you don't get 6 yards a carry and gain less than 100 yards yourself, without the two big runs. But look, Coach, you got some shots that we took out there that show.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got
coordinator, North Carolina Central.
We had
HBCU Coaches Corner, Johnnie Cole.
We had Matt Leone out there. We had Perry come.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White with my man Stephen Campbell, one of the crew, one of the best shows out there covering HBCU, the HBCU Coaches Corner. You can catch it on YouTube and across all social media right here at the MEAC SWAC Challenge 2025, everybody.
You be scared to talk about this stuff, don't you?
My name is Maurice Williams from North Carolina State University. I'm here with Johnnie Cole on HBCU.
All right, we got my man right here.
It's your boy Smash Time. Make sure y'all check out the Coaches Corner on YouTube. That was it, man.
For sure.
official band got smashed.
And then we had my sister.
This is before the game, y'all. This is before the game.
Yeah, this is before the game.
These are Southernites.
Yeah, we had a good time in
Southerners. And those are the ones that's always winning, no matter what they do. They always win. That's a dog. They always win.
Yeah, we had a good. Hey, man.
Why? Wait, I ain't seen none of that.
Southern won the band. I tell you that they won. The jukebox won. Southern was as dominant with the band as the football.
Rivalry is back. Shreveport Kickoff Classic. The Battle of the Big Cats. Saturday, August 30th in Shreveport, 7 p.m. kickoff. Independence Bowl Stadium.
This is where we hold them.
Grambling State Tigers.
This is where we fight.
Langston University Lions.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Shreveport Kickoff Classic. Get tickets at Ticketmaster and all usual outlets. Sponsored by the state of Louisiana, City of Shreveport, Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, Caddo Parish, and visit Shreveport Bossier.
All right.
Well, you were able to see all that. You were able to see at that time, huh, Coach?
Yeah, I didn't see all the stuff that we shot at for the MEAC Swag Challenge. I was just making sure our viewers seen that what type of.
You weren't able to see the video, Coach?
No, not the one of the bands.
Oh, okay, yeah, Coach. We had, Coach, we had a amazing time coaching. So it was a great event. It was certainly a cultural experience. Southern was geeked up and ready to go. We stayed in a host hotel where Southern was in, and they were rip raring and ready to go, man. So at the end of the day, I know the Southern fan base was pretty disappointed because of the result of the game. But I do say they have hope. They got another game next week, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a chance to redeem themselves. And like Campbell says, it's a winnable game. And we'll see what kind of how Southern will update their resume for the 2025 season. I mean, for the 2025 season.
I want to give a shout out too, man, that made sure we had some T-shirts, Mogul Threads. Mogul Threads. The CEO, Thomas K. White Jr., man, he had some nice stuff, man. They were all lined up selling. He was selling the stuff. You can go to www.mogulthreads.com if you want some stuff. Again, www.mogul, M-O-G-U-L, threads.com. If you want to get some T-shirts and stuff. And, man, Coach, he had all kind of stuff, man. And he had his table really set up.
Coach, we want to go. I want to do two things, Coach. Really, two things before we get out of here.
One of the things he gave me, Coach.
There you go.
He went Army, baby. He knew I was gonna put my TSU on when I got back. Yeah. He set us out.
Yes, sir. Coach, I want to go over the schedule right quick, Coach, before we get out of here. This week's schedule. It's a really interesting schedule. Lots of opportunities here, Coach. In the SWAC, Alcorn plays. Let me do this. Let me do the MEAC first. Let's do the MEAC first. So this is the MEAC slate of games right here, Coach. We got Norfolk versus Townsend. I have no idea what to expect from Mike Vick in this game. Do either of you guys have any expectations for Coach Vick?
35-7. Townsend State.
Townsend favoring in this game. Again, ain't too far ride for them. They're going right up, to Maryland. No big deal there. But I think what we're going to find out, which again, I was trying to look at the MEAC coach press conference. I did not see, and maybe if somebody else, maybe MEAC Mike knows, what did Mike Vick tell everybody who the quarterback was? I think he had a guy that he felt already was leading, but I don't know if he did one of those. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback. But I'm with Coach on that. I think this is one of those ones that he's going to kind of learn what being a coach is about, and then he'll move forward going through the season.
Okay. I got Townsend on this one, but I'm going to keep it close. I want to say the game's going to be 24-21, Townsend. Then we got Howard against Florida A&M, Coach.
Man, shoot, man, tell you what, new quarterback. I got to go with Hampton. It's close with 20.
Howard, you mean Howard?
I'm sorry. No, we got Florida A&M and University of Hampshire.
No, Coach. That's North. That's Central versus New Hampshire. You playing Howard?
Oh, okay. I see now. Okay.
Yeah.
The Bisons in Florida A&M. Woo, that's gonna be a nail biter, Coach. It's gonna be a nail biter. 23-21.
I got FAMU, and I think they beat Howard by a touchdown. What about you, Campbell?
Well, Howard was picked 5th out of 6 in the MEAC. That's not good. FAMU's picked 2nd behind Jackson State. Most likely, probably will be the 2nd best team in the SWAC, depending on what happens in the Jackson State game. I think this team, once again, you got to understand that we recruit at a high level. So we've always been 1 or 2 or 3, depending on what year it is, but usually 2 or 1 with the recruiting. So the recruiting ain't stopped. So now I think Howard's got some things. They have some coaches lead, the players in transition. Yeah, I think Coach needs to go ahead and get this thing done and get this by 14 points.
Okay. Then we got
21-7 then.
No, I'm gonna give them now. I'm looking at here's the thing. I don't want to hit 21 for FAMU. We got to do 24 and above just to make me feel comfortable because anything 21, I already know, man, so no. So it's got to be at least 24-10 or 24-14.
Okay.
All right. What about South Carolina? I'm not familiar with Warford College.
I can answer that. South Carolina State beat them pretty good last year. I think they can do it again. I think South Carolina State does it again.
I'll take it.
Fair, man.
I got 28-10 South Carolina State.
Okay, now we have Delaware State playing against newly minted University of Delaware Division I program.
Is it? Can I use a word like it's gonna be awful? Yeah, it's gonna be awful, Coach. 48-3.
Okay.
48-10.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 31-14. What about you, Campbell?
I think it's gonna be somewhere in that area. I think this is again. This is one of those games. They need to tell Joe Biden to come so they can get some more money for both of these schools. You have him come down there and then flip the corner so you're playing both of these schools that he actually said he's got degrees from. So I'm telling you, I think that this is one of those games, you play it, you get out of there, and you get ready for the conference season. So I'm with you, Rocky. So it's going to be some 31-14, 34-14, something like that.
All right, we got a game where one of the teams we laid eyes on, we were able to see them live. They were extremely impressive, traveling to New Hampshire to play New Hampshire, University of New Hampshire. I'll go first on this one. I'll take NCCU, and I'll take them. Man, that running back was awfully tough, man. I'm going to take them 30-24.
So NCCU played New Hampshire last year, beat them at their house. They're down here in Durham this year. I think the beat doesn't stop. I think we know what Central is. I think New Hampshire's going to get ran all over.
North Carolina Central, man, it's going to be a tough one. 21-17, 24-17, somewhere in that nature. I wasn't really impressed with North Carolina Central's defense, the way they tackled. I thought they, of course, made adjustments at halftime. But you can't miss tackles like that.
All right. Next one up, we got Morgan against University of South Alabama. I think this is going to be ugly. I'm going to take 35-7 South Alabama.
Mike, why don't you pick this game for us? Since this is your school, Morgan. Like I say, South Alabama, this is not going to be close. I think they go down there and they need to get on back to Maryland quick.
Yeah.
They kind of out the element in that game right there.
All right.
So then now we got the SWAC, right? So in my opinion, this is Alcorn. First one is Alcorn on Thursday against a very, if they're a good team, this will be a winnable game against Northwestern. Get a chance to play blacks against the whites. I'm going to take the whites, guys, in this game right here. I'm going to take Northwestern 28-21.
Northwestern is still rebuilding and still getting over that tragic loss of one of the players. Alcorn State beat them last year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a nail biter, a field goal here, or a touchdown here. There.
Well,
all right.
I'm going with them big bad Braves. Coach Cedric Thomas came on our show. He said he got bigger, faster, and stronger. And I think he learned a little bit at him being that coach because he got in there a little bit late. So I think them Braves are going to handle this game pretty handily. I think Braves going to get that about 14 points. I'm depending on the Braves to give me something.
This game right here, this next game is Alabama State versus University of Alabama, Birmingham. I just want Andrew Body to come out this game healthy. But I think it'll be pretty much a blowout. I think it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 35-14, 42-14, something like that.
I'm going to come with a fun fact. I saw, and I thought it was interesting, that Eddie Robinson and Trent Dilfer played against each other. Eddie Robinson had 9 tackles, led the team in tackles, and Trent Dilfer had an average Trent Dilfer game, but Baltimore didn't win the game. So with that being said, I think Trent Dilfer keeps the winning streak alive, and they keep it moving.
Yeah. UAB, they got two coach, the defense coordinator from the Hornets. He's faced Alabama State's offense for the last 3-4 years. I think he comes and get those keys over to Alabama, to UAB. I got UAB 28-7.
So he's the coordinator at UAB?
No, I think he's a linebacker coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bethune-Cookman, Florida International. It's a runaway.
Yeah. I don't think there's much to talk about there.
Hey, man, there is one thing to talk about. Let's remember who's coaching those Panthers. That's Willie Simmons. And this is his debut down there. He's trying to do a double-double. He said, hey, y'all come check me out on Friday and check out the Rattlers on Saturday. So, hey, that's Coach Willie Simmons. I want everybody to understand that. So, Bethune-Cookman, he's going to do you just like he did at FAMU. He's putting up 40 on you guys.
All right.
Jackson State shows their dominance. And pat the MEAC on the back and let them know the SWAC is still in charge.
Well, it'd be nice if Hampton was still in the MEAC, but I know what you're talking about, Coach.
Yeah.
That's the CAA. So you got, again, I got to take Jackson State in this one. I think it'll be, I'll say 38-14. What you got, Campbell?
I think that Jackson State going to be just as dominant as Central was against Southern. So I think Hampton, they're not going to bring anybody down there. Hampton doesn't care about this game. The players care, but the fans don't care. So it's going to be a good party down there in Jackson. I think you're going to start seeing TC emptying the bench by the third quarter, middle of third quarter. And I think Jackson State runs away with this. They're ready to go to defend their championship.
Whew. You think they're going to run away with it?
Hey, man, listen, I think those Tigers are loaded, and I just think that Hampton's not ready to face that Mississippi Heat. And again, I think this is one of those games. I think Hampton's excited to come to Jackson, but they ain't going to be ready for Jackson.
I got you.
And in the next game, Sam Shade is going to be trying to get his first victory as a Division I head coach. I don't think it's going to happen. A lot to a little against Arkansas Razorbacks.
One thing about the Razorbacks, they ain't gonna take them lightly, Coach. If they can put up 70, they're gonna put 70 up. You know who the coordinator over there.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this is Coach Sam Shade, friend of the show. We just wanted to come back healthy and get ready for the swag season.
Yeah.
Coach, and you know, with all due respect to the Labor Day Classic, Coach, I think that the eyes of the conference are going to be on this game right here, this Southern versus Mississippi Valley. Coach, and the reason why, Coach, and the reason why the eyes of the SWAC is going to be on this is because this could be the first. There could be implications. I'll just put it like this: if Southern loses this game. But that being said, I expect Southern to pull it out. I thought they were talented when I saw them this past weekend. I think they'll clean up some of that stuff, and I expect them to win 28-14.
I think it's going to be closer. The running back goes wild. They connect on a couple of them deep ones. 28-14.
That's what I said, Coach.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What you got, Campbell?
Hey, listen, I think the Jags understand the assignment. I think they're gonna come up there. I think this game is gonna be hard. But you know, I'm gonna give my homeboy 3 more points on that. I'm gonna go 28-17. I think they're gonna get a field goal to get that in there. And I tell you what, I think this game is gonna actually look like how the Southern Central game. I think it'll be close in the first half, and then Southern will kind of wear them down because they got a little bit more depth than what they got at Valor right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think this is a lot to a little. Texas Tech, the most expensive team in college football, against UAPB, the cheapest team in college football.
Next.
Yes. And then, Coach, we got the granddaddy of them all, the Labor Day Classic.
I think if you want to watch a good football game, this is going to be a good football game. You got Mr. Jackson over there at Prairie View A&M, and that's what Coach
this
man, call him. He call him Mr. Jackson or Tremaine. He don't call him Coach. So they got some beef going over there, and you know, of course, I want my Tigers to win. You know, but I just can't bet. I just can't bet against what I know what's going on at Prairie View. I got Prairie View in a close one.
Okay. Cole, what do you make of all the noise talking that's going on between the coaches this early in the season?
I like it. Hey, that's how the SWAC has always been. And it sells tickets. So I like it. I don't like the disrespect though, but I do like it.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this here, Coach. What do you think Dishman's fascination with Tremaine is?
Tremaine's an outgoing guy. He's about selling his program. He's about selling himself. He walks what he talks. He talks what he walks. He played in the national championship game his second year at Valdosta. He's won at Colorado Mesa. He's coached on the Division I level. He's won a SWAC championship before. So, hey, man, he knows what he's doing. It ain't like he's coming into Prairie View to find where the restroom is. He already knows.
So do you think that's because Dishman is going from a year that's being also where he's been pretty mute, right?
Yeah. He been a little too mute because I ain't heard from him yet from my Texas, but it's okay.
Well, Coach, like I say, Coach, I was surprising when I was here. There was some noise talk that was happening between Dishman and Jackson. It was surprising to me that Coach Dishman initiated.
Yeah, he called a guy by his first name and then put the coach in front of it. I think that's very disrespectful. And every time he talk about Coach Jackson, he either say Mr. Jackson or Tremaine or He just don't. I guess he don't have no respect for coach.
And then he said his singing was terrible.
Well, I tell you what, 7 p.m. Central Time, Houston, Texas, is going to be live.
He went on to say, Coach, that Coach Jackson refers to his children, this is paraphrasing here, his players as dogs. And I wouldn't disrespect my players like that.
Right.
I refer to my players as young, good Christian men.
Right.
They're not dogs.
Right.
I thought that was kind of
condescending.
For someone who grew up in football culture, I think we understand what the term dog means, right? You know what I mean? I don't think it's a derogatory term. I think it denotes a guy that's tough and gritty and aggressive. You know what I mean? It's not meant as a term of disrespect. Somehow, he cited when Coach Jackson uses that term.
Oh, yeah. And one other thing, guys, for our viewers, make sure you subscribe to the SWAC channel. I don't know how much it costs.
No, it don't cost anything. You can download the SWAC app.
Okay.
The SWAC app.
Yeah, let's
SWAC TV app. Download it. And we'll be
do that. Yeah.
So
let me speak on this, because I'm gonna defend one thing with Chris Dishman. I think people got to understand what Chris, and Coach, you understand this. I think Chris Dishman feels he's been disrespected because all he's heard is this guy is coming down in the Prairie View and he got all these players and they're going to win the West. Do y'all realize Coach Dishman went 4-4 in the SWAC and should have won 2 more games. Should have won 2 more games in that West. So he's probably looking back there, wait a minute, I've already went through the burning fire, went 500, and I feel we have a better team going forward. So I think that's a little bit where that's coming from, because people got him down there at the bottom where he's getting talked about. So I think that's what it had a little bit to do with. Now, the thing about the dog thing, I'm like, come on now, Coach, because Chris Dishman was one of the nasty, and I'm talking about in a good, nasty way, cornerbacks that you ever wanted to see. That guy was a rough rider. So I know people call Chris Dishman a dog. So that was kind of that kind of threw me off right there. Unless, Chris, maybe Coach, and again, I don't know his background, if he's giving his life to God, and some people, that's their part of their thing. So I'm not going to disrespect that. But I thought that was off-putting because I just didn't think that was necessary right there, because both of those schools have outstanding young men that are going to be great graduates. But I just think that, honestly, I think Chris Dishman has just felt, and I think they'll read me for you folks, Coach, Texas Southern, because behind closed doors, and you know how that closed doors go, y'all, we want you to beat his ass.
Well, let me say this, Coach. That's up to his media team and the SID about promoting the program. Chris Dishman alone don't have no background. He don't have nothing besides he played in the NFL. This is not an attack on him. He's been some places, but, the thing about it is, he hadn't sat in that seat. And we're talking about a championship guy who just played in the national championship. That's something to talk about. We've been around a long time, Coach, about Texas Southern in my school. You know what I'm saying? And he did have a good year, really a great year. Chris Dishman had a great year for a perennial losing program. I could call it that. It's my school, and I know the history. So, so people don't get excited about that. To get excited about that, Coach, you got to win championships, man.
Oh, wait a minute, now, Coach. Wait a minute, hold on now. Now, I'm gonna play this other side. He came out the box and went 4-4. He should have won 2 more games. That's a fact. There's no doubt he should have won those. He should have won that other game. There's another game that I'm missing. So how can you minimize what he did in his first year with a perennial loser, as you just said? He got them to almost a respectability right off the rip.
Coach, you act like Texas Southern ain't never been 5-6.
No, I'm talking about where he started, where they're at, and they should have won 2 more games. He won 2 more games. He got 7 wins, Coach, in his first year.
Coach, Hell, damn! If I would have ran that red light, I'd have got a hell of an accident.
Well, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. We do this all the time.
Well, Coach, listen, if you talk about the loss at Southern, who made that mistake?
Well, I'm not down that either.
Who made that call?
What he was saying, the punter made that mistake. Because the punter did. Actually, let's keep it a buck. The punter missed that punt up.
Hey, Coach, I want to play this.
There was a different strategy, but the punter did not execute the punt when there was no pressure on.
Hey, Coach, this was Coach Jack response right here. I hope y'all can hear it.
No, we can't hear it. I can't.
Can you hear it?
It takes a minute to load.
I can't hear it. I guess the fans can hear it.
Okay. No. They probably can't hear it either. Wait, no worries.
What, you need me to play it, Rocky?
Yeah. If you got it.
Okay.
Hey, I like what Emmett Jones said. He said the only way you minimize it is on indictment of a weak SWAC West. I think that says it a lot.
Well,
I mean,
this is my thing. Let's see. Let me find this right here. Because, Rocky, I know I texted that to y'all.
Yeah, you did.
All right, give me a second.
So what you had to say about that, Bishop?
Well, we know the SWAC West is weak. I'm not going to disagree with that. But what I will say,
okay,
Coach McKinney was one game away from a SWAC championship, Coach. You do know that, right, Campbell?
Yeah.
So what he did,
he wasn't.
And again, my point is, it's been done before, recently.
5 and 5. What is it? 5 and 6.
I'm just saying the man did not go 1-1. He had a better record than several teams in that conference.
Okay, let me put it this way, Coach. And maybe I'm taking this wrong. He ain't no Coach Jackson. His numbers don't speak Coach Jackson, right? You talking about man just playing the national championship?
Listen, no. Two things can be. I'm talking about why Coach is having a chip on his shoulder. I'm not saying he's a better coach than Coach Jackson. I'm speaking from Chris Dishman, why people are wondering why he's talking like that, because he can look at his record and say, I came in here, brought this team to 500 right off the rip, and I should have won 2 more games.
Okay, Coach.
We laughing.
Coach, ain't no way in the world I would be feeling like if I was in the league with Coach Jackson and he came in off of a national, that I'd be like, oh, I played good. Why y'all ain't talking about me? And you know
he promoted himself.
Coach,
y'all know that he ain't scared of Coach Jackson. He don't care nothing about that.
You know,
you said that man coached at a lower level. I coached up in the SWAC.
Coach, you know in Houston, man, you gotta win, man. Come on. You know you gotta win.
Here we go, Rocky. I got it right here. Right.
You know that.
Rocky, you got it right there?
Yeah. You go ahead and play it.
All right.
Some shots taken that we don't necessarily, it's not our profession. So, but I understand what it is and what some people have to do. We don't have to do that. We just go about our business, man. And we've been on this hill working for a long time. We're going to get a chance to come off. And so, there is a different level of focus with us right now. But we've been like this since January 7th. We don't allow people to toy with our kids, our program. This ain't your uncle's Prairie View A&M football team. This is us. It's a new feel around here. We don't take shots or disrespect kindness.
Do you think, though, some of that is just part of the game or a part of his game and trying to generate some excitement? Do you see it as that at all, too?
Man, I went to Oak Forest Elementary, class of 94. I didn't go to recess. I don't play. We don't play. That's not us. That's not what we do about it. So I don't know what that is. I just know how we do things. And so shout out to Miss Rector, my 5th grade teacher, for not making me go to recess because I didn't play no game.
That man said he didn't go to recess when he was little. First of all, I got a question. How many people even remember their graduating class from elementary? That's what my thing is. Like, that was the amazing thing to me. I'm class of 94 elementary. Like, God dog, coach, you remember that?
Well, when he's letting you know. Well, okay, so let me tell you what I think he's saying about that. He's saying, I'm from Houston, black man. This is my city. What you think he's saying, Coach? Coach?
Yeah, Coach. Do you know they had a speakeasy last week and one this week, 3 blocks from Texas Southern School? He don't infiltrate it. You think Germany is infiltrating Ukraine? Shit, man, Tremaine is all down on Alameda Street, going functions and raising money, and you know what I'm saying? He all down in Dishman's backfield. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Dick's got some pride about himself. You right, Coach Campbell. But when you look at the big picture of it, you know, me, I think just in general, you should respect the man. The man earns respect to be called coach.
Well, let me say this.
Coach Jackson or Coach Tremaine, instead of you calling him Mr. Jackson and Tremaine. That's disrespectful.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I'm going to also add to this because, once again, you know, we got people on social media that do not know what they're talking about. And Coach Jackson be talking trash about people. Coach Jackson, we've had him. We are one of the few people that have actually interviewed him. Coach Jackson never took no shot in nobody else's school, ever. So y'all need to stop with that foolishness because he ain't never did that. And we know because we know Coach Jackson, we had him on it. Because the trash he taught me on this show right here, and he talks about Prairie View. So I didn't like when people try to mix that up and say he be starring stuff. No, he don't. He be talking about Prairie View. So y'all just need to stop that.
He talking about his program, Coach. He trying to sell his program.
Yeah, but again, Coach, you know, you have people, and I'm going to say this. Social media is not real. And we got a bunch of people, and they know who they are, that they never gave money to their schools, but they get on there and they make stuff up to gin up foolishness. And that's what they do.
But see, and you're right. Some people are afraid of confident people. You know what I mean? And you got to talk positive about your team. You know what I mean? You got to speak things into existence. And that's just where he feel good about himself. He feel good about his coaching staff. He feel good about his athletic director who supports him. His president supports him. You know, I mean, I don't want to be with nobody or play with somebody that's always talking negative about their program.
You know, Coach, the great philosopher, Deion Lamont Sanders, once said, don't let my confidence offend your insecurities.
Coach Dippin said he ain't offended. Coach Dippin said the man can't sing.
I think that was okay. I think when he started talking about how Coach Jackson is referring to his kids,
he didn't say Coach Jackson. He said Tremaine.
That man don't owe that man nothing, Coach. What do you owe, Coach? Listen, Coach, listen. Let me tell you something. You lived in that rivalry. You played in that rivalry. You coached that rivalry. You know how y'all. And this is why I'm like, everybody. It's not like we have not heard Coach. You was on the bus with Eddie Robinson and Marie. You come on, man.
Coach, enough bull coining, Coach. I want you to go first. Prairie View, TSU. Give me a score.
Man, you put me on the spot real early, but Coach, I raised this kid. Coach Tremaine Jackson. A couple other coaches on the staff have played and worked with me, Coach. I know what's going on there. You know, I know coaches at TSU on the Tiger side as well. Texas Southern, I think, ain't explosive on offense. They got their quarterback back, but he really never been battle tested because he got hurt last year early in the year. They gonna try to run the football versus Prairie View, so this game gonna be quick. The only thing if I had a question is, how is the quarterback that's returning from Prairie View, now that he has a quarterback coach, how well will he play? I thought Prairie View tried to come out last year and throw the ball a whole bunch when they should have stayed more with the run game. So I got Prairie View. I got Prairie View in a close one because you can throw all that out the door. Both teams are going to be clashing, but I got to go with Coach Tremaine Jackson that's been there. That's got a lot more experience. I got 28-21 Prairie View.
Go ahead, Campbell.
Hey man, listen. I this is, to me, this is one of those games for Prairie View's destiny. What they think they might do, they got to win this game. They don't win this game, they definitely not winning no swag. And them folks doing big talk line. That's our nephew and our friend of the show. The boys doing big talk over there. But man, I'm just gonna tell you something. And I think Coach Jisman knows who his quarterback was because the boys came back from last year. And I'm not sold that those guys at Prairie View know who their quarterback is. I know they're going to bring the roll 7 up out of there again from last year. So, man, again, I love Prairie View. That's my sleeper team. But I just think just the way this is, because I think there's a lot of pressure for Prairie View to win this game. And I think Texas Southern playing with house money. I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be 28-27. And I just think the Tiger might pull it out. I think Prairie View is going to be a good team, but it's just something that's I don't know. I don't know, man. When Disman came out there, he feeling good about his team.
Coach, I'm predicting belt to ass, Coach. I am. From what I saw from TSU last year, I don't know where they improved, Coach. Where do they improve, Coach?
Again, the quarterback, like I said, he broke his ankle last year and he's back, 6'4", nice sized kid, can extend plays, throw the ball well. I don't think they're that good at the receiver position as they were last year. I think they lost a couple people. They lost some people through the portal. And then, just watching them, I just didn't think that they're very explosive on offense. They're going to play some man coverage on the defensive side of the ball to help stop the run game at Prairie View.
Again, this guy say last year, keeps talking about last year. No, this is what I'm saying, B-Field. The fact of the matter is I expect Texas Southern to be a similar team than they were last year. That's not enough to keep it close against Terrence Gray. They went to overtime, I think, last year with Prairie View and Bubba McDowell. I don't think anybody realizes how much more organized, structured, and efficient this team is going to be under Tremaine Jackson. I'm not even addressing the talent aspect of the team, because we all know that they have the number one transfer portal recruiting class in the nation. I'm saying aside from that, I'm just talking about being able to line up, execute, being able to be organized, and be able to and have some structure.
The guy, Coach. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying the coach from last year, that was coach at Prairie View last year, he says, hey, we weren't playing the right guys. We weren't getting the right guys on the field. That won't be the problem last year, and you were barely able to beat Prairie View. I'm telling you. I expect belt to ass, Coach. I'm going to be disappointed if it ain't belt to ass.
What does PVV have? He brought 8 players from Valdosta State, same way as Chennis Berry, if you want to compare the two. All right. He brought his coaching staff, some hell of a guys. They played great defense last year. That's one of their biggest thing at Valdosta. And he got all older players. He got all old players. He got a tackle from the University of Memphis, another kid, from USC. He got another kid. And I know Tremaine. I know how he recruit. I know how he think. I know what he want to do. And he got the right people around him. He got people that's been with him through it all in the program, not only on the field, but off the field as well. This guy's a disciplinarian that he'll have those kids focused and ready to go.
Coach, you called me this spring. You went down you visited Prairie View this spring, watched them work out, watched them train, and leaving campus, you was like, wow.
Dude,
Coach, you've been around this game. You've been around this game 40 years, Coach.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that as a player, a coach, now in the media.
44 now, Coach. 44 years.
And how many times have you said, wow?
Not many, Coach. Not many. Here's one of the things that he done. They got this magazine. They've been shooting the top 40 players in Texas. They've done it at Baylor. They've done it at Texas A&M. They've done
Dave Campbell is what you're talking about, right?
Yes. he actually had Dave Campbell. I met him, talked to him. All the top 40 kids in Texas over there taking the picture in Prairie View A&M Stadium. Man, that's big. You know how big that is? Because we all know that the big schools are hitting the portal. Now I got the best high school kids on my campus. That's big, Coach. That's big. That's brilliant, And he's doing a lot of good and great things. And, we were also out together, me, him, and his athletic director. Coach, you don't get that, man. You got an athletic director, man. They're about to get an indoor facility built. They in constant communication with Texas A&M. I mean, they're doing big things over there. And I think they got the right guy over there. So, we'll see.
Hey, Coach, do you know this guy right here, Coach Carlos Johnson?
No.
You know him, Campbell?
He's a Texas Southern guy.
Hey, well, what your pockets say though? How many points you giving me? Since you say they're gonna beat the brakes off Prairie View.
Now, Carlos, don't let him go that dog. That's a straight up bet. No, don't let him try to play you with that. Carlos,
no, he wants
straight up.
Yeah. I give some straight up action. No, but
wait a minute. Well, hold on. Let's okay. I want to, because again, I want to say this. Think about when's the last time people been talking about this game like this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's to me. I don't care about who wins or loses because neither one of my schools. I want both the schools to be successful. So my point prediction means nothing. What I'm glad about is that we actually are taking the time to talk about this game.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know why? Do you know why?
Tremaine Jackson.
Exactly.
Coach Tremaine Jackson.
But we're talking about it. So whoever brings the heat. So I don't care. I want this game to be, because I tell you what, we want to talk about this game the last 15, 20 years. We could care less.
And this goes back to me, this goes back to last December when Coach and I was in contact about who would eventually be the coach of Prairie View, who would be the coach of this school. And Golf talked to me on the phone and said, ain't no committee. I'm making the decision. I'll let you know when the time is right. And after probably 3 or 4 weeks, we had to wait because Tremaine was in the playoffs. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that he had made a selection. I didn't know any of that. But a decision was made, and I think AD Golf got his guy, didn't he, Coach?
Yes, sir. And me and AD Golf talked about it as well. And I think this is a South Carolina State hire. Chennis Berry. Everybody was talking, saying, oh, Chennis, he talk mess, he talks all the time, yada, 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 yada. And what did he do? 10-1, wasn't
he? You know, I asked somebody this, and I'm going with some guy. I asked a couple guys about Tremaine Jackson's team last year at Valdosta State, and I said, how many SWAC teams beat Valdosta State? These are coaches now that said the only 2 teams got a chance against Valdosta State. I say only 2 teams? I said, yeah, only 2 teams. Jackson State, of course, and FAMU. Do you agree with that, Coach?
Man, look, hey, what we always say, he beat the whites.
What do you think? What do you think, Campbell? You know about that's your area. That's your country. That's your part of the country.
He beat the whites.
Valdosta was a great team at that level. I think that. Well, I ask you a question: is Andrew Body playing for Alabama and Alabama State?
No, not last year. They were.
Okay, all right. So we would have the quarterback deficiency there. Because I think the defense would have no problem shutting down because they shut Jack State down. Them boys was hitting. They couldn't score. So I might have to put Alabama State in that conversation. And even Southern to that point. Because I think, again, and we'll find out, the SWAC is not the MEAC. Because the MEAC really is a one-conference team now. When Chennis Berry got there. That's what I'm talking about. It's always been South Carolina. But there was nobody, but he only had 1 team to beat. This ain't like that in the SWAC. Prairie View got a whole bunch of teams to beat.
No, but I would say, some would say the West is a no team division.
Unfortunately, Coach, this year when you look at Prairie View's schedule, he could easily go 9-2 or 10.
Oh, now the schedule. Listen, the schedule is set up perfect. That's what I'm saying. That's why he has to win this game.
Yeah,
he has to win this game. The pressure's on Prairie View, not on Texas Southern.
No, right. No, Carlos, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You still have to suit up and play the game, no matter what people say. I get that, right? But this is what we're kind of talking about. And this is something we talked about in the press conference. This is something Coach talked to me about as well. The SWAC is a coaches conference. It ain't won by players. It's won by coaches. Wouldn't you agree, Campbell, being a historian of the SWAC?
Here's the problem. Every time somebody won the conference, they had the best players. So I'm sorry. I mean, Dion wasn't no great coach. He had the best players. Dion was not a great coach. That proved it. Coach,
the guys you talk about, somehow, Coach, how is it that the best coaches always end up with the best players? Is that a coincidence?
It go hand in hand. Now, somebody like Coach Cole, who didn't have the best player and won the SWAC, he didn't have the best player when they won that division. So that's what I'm saying, man. Listen, when you talk about them heyday, man, them boys had first, second rounders, coming out of them squads.
Since I've been watching it, it's been a coaches conference. HBCU football has been a coaches. It's been decided by the best coaches in the league.
Okay, and you're talking about the SWAC.
I'm talking about the MEAC too.
Okay, well, listen to what you're saying. Because the only teams you've seen the SWAC to win it is Jack State 3 times and FAMU.
Yes.
Simmons, Dion, TC. On the MEAC, you've seen Buddy Pugh, Chennis Berry, Trey
and Larry
Johnson. So again, to me, Larry Scott, right? That's
Larry Scott. I'm sorry.
Larry Scott. When you start swizzling that bag, Chennis, Willie, TC are the only 3 that are great coaches.
You wouldn't put Trey in that category?
I said Trey, Willie, and Chennis. And TC. What's up, guys?
Coach, you talking about a guy that won 9 games in the FCS.
I want to keep Buddy Pugh. I got to get Buddy Pugh because I left Buddy Pugh because he's not here anymore. And Willie's not here either. But Buddy Pugh would be added to that.
All right, Coach. You only talking about a guy who went undefeated twice in the conference and has won 9 games in the FCS level, and you say he's not a good coach.
Who, Deion?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you have a bomb squad and you lose to a South Carolina State and everybody else's SWAC beat their ass and you lost? How do you have a bomb squad with the #1 player in the nation, Shedeur, that should have been a first-round pick? You got all those guys that went to Colorado and played, and you lose to Central.
But
that's not a good coach, bro.
We don't forget about the kid that went both ways.
That's why I said the #1 player in the country. Yeah. I tell you what, if Coach Cole was coaching that Jackson State team, they wouldn't have lost. If TC was coaching that Jackson State team, they wouldn't have lost. Do you understand the talent that was on that team? Yeah. The best players from Colorado were from Jackson State. Let that sink in for a second.
Well, can we go on just one, a dog will find a bone every now and then.
Well, I'm just simply saying, I think you're selling Coach Prime short. He went undefeated twice in the conference.
But Rocky, how am I selling it short? Because in that team where it was built was supposed to go undefeated.
Okay. All right.
The only team that was okay. Let's look at the SWAC during that time.
But Coach,
the only team in the SWAC was FAMU. Would you not agree?
Yeah.
So who else are you gonna lose to?
Can I say this though, Coach Campbell? Hell, he went to Colorado and won.
Won what?
Shit, Coach, he turned a dismal program around.
Coach, they didn't have a winning season the first year.
Yes.
And do you know the game that they lost? That's the reason why they didn't make the playoff. And then they lost in a bowl game against BYU, got blasted.
But Coach, they ain't been in a bowl game in years.
Okay, wait. Okay, recruiting and coaching are 2 different things. Because when it was time to coach,
you gotta coach those guys, though.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this: name a big game that Deion won in the last those 2 years in the SWAC.
The game against UCF was a big game.
What are you?
Deion is a good coach.
Don't make me embarrass you, because you pull up their schedule and go look at the game that they need to win when they went to Kansas that would have got them into the Big 12 and lost.
Do you know where they were at UCF when they played the UCF game? They were a 21-point underdog.
Rocky, I'm gonna say they lost to Kansas that they shouldn't have lost to. That got them, that did not make the championship. They lost to BYU, that they had Travis and Shedeur playing, and they got waxed. Do I need to keep going?
But what I'm simply saying is, you know that the team that they had, you know they're good now. But at the time, their defense was abysmal coming out of that Nebraska game.
Abysmal. It never got any better. That defense was not good.
It was good enough to be.
How much?
Hold on. I'm gonna say this because I don't want to. You got Shedeur Sanders, the best quarterback in the conference. You got Travis Hunter, the best player in the conference. You don't make it to the Big 12 championship game. Now explain that to me.
He didn't have the best team.
Can I say this?
Duh.
Go ahead, Coach.
How much do you give Deion credit for choosing the people around him, number one? So he knows his strong points, he knows his weakness. His job, and he knows that his X's and O's ain't where you would like him to be. So he surrounds himself with good people. His thing is about motivation, recruiting and motivation. And he knows that. That's why he don't call defense. He don't call offense. He stays.
Well, that's coach.
Yeah, that's what.
So when you get against a Trey Oliver, that coach and motivates, and you saw Trey Oliver's shirt.
Trey. You see the thing with Trey Oliver and those older coaches that's been around, and I ain't gonna use a number how old they need to be. They know the X's and O's, and that's how come Buddy Pugh beat Deion and Trey Oliver.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. And you got NFL talent on your squad.
Right.
You got out. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with admitting. Listen, man. I know y'all. You can admit that he got out coached. He did.
Yeah, he did. Oh no, ain't no
every
question.
one of them games, Rocky. I can go through every one of them games, but I'm talking about the big game because he like.
So here's my question: how did he win the SWAC 2 years in a row?
Because
all the other coaches were bad.
No, coach,
he was bad.
Coach, the talent deficit was so much. The only team that even had half a chance was that first year that FAMU. That's why they only lost 7-6.
So you think both of those North Carolina and South Carolina team was better talented than kids?
No, that's what I'm saying. Jackson State had way more talent.
No. He said a team. I want to say one of those teams, South Carolina or North Carolina, they lost to a SWAC team that year.
They both of them. Well, North Carolina and Central didn't. South Carolina State lost to FAMU. We whooped them in South Carolina.
Yeah,
you whooped them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Jackson State, with all that bomb, because let me tell you something. If they had won those championships, do you know we would have been talking about that Jackson State team, one of the all-time greatest Jackson State teams of all time?
Probably so.
Okay. So if you're talking, they're sitting on now think about the teams I'm talking about. They would have been right under those 80 teams and the Walter Payne teams because they didn't have the first round talent. But overall, that would have been the best team in the last 35, 40 years that Jackson State had.
Right.
Then TC comes with less talent, whoops everybody's ass, beats Chennis Bear, who we love, who's a great coach.
I'm gonna say something that may be unpopular, but I'm gonna say this, and because I believe it to be true. I believe the offensive line that Jackson State had last year was better than any offensive line that Shedeur played behind.
Well, you know what though? Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, but you do realize Jackson State had a pretty good offensive line because they had 1,000-yard rushers.
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, but you acting like he was running for his life. He was not running for his life like
No. I simply made a statement that you're saying the talent. You're saying the talent gap was huge, and I'm saying the Jackson State offensive line was better than any Jackson State offensive line that Shedeur played behind.
And Shedeur was better than any quarterback that Jackson State has had. So what you talking about? Come on, man. We can do this all night with me, dog. I ain't gonna let y'all see. I ain't no primate here. I know the facts, so you can see. I
don't know. I don't know how the guy beat the best coaches in the SWAC 2 years straight, and then he's not a good coach. And he's not a good coach. But I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that alone.
No. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this right now. And Coach Cole, you give those Jackson State teams Trey Oliver, Willie Simmons, Chennis Berry, Buddy Pugh. They national champions. You let Willie have that team. You let Willie. You see what Willie did when it was time his bomb squad.
Oh, you mean have the Jackson State team?
Right. You give Trey Oliver that team. You give Willie that team we should do it. We scored 60. Come on, man.
He had spoken. We'll put Deion in a box.
Willie had two chances to beat Deion. That's all I'll say.
And Jackson State had better teams. There was no secret. That first year, and the reason why, and I'll tell you the reason why we didn't get the first year, they had a better quarterback. There was a better quarterback. We only lost 7-6 because the talent was that close. Look at the player. Xavier Smith in the NFL, Isaiah Land in the NFL, Marcus Bell in the NFL. We got all types of NFL guys that was on that squad. That's why we only lost 7-6 and beat everybody's behind. If Willie, I tell you what, if Sunshine, the white quarterback, had been there, we would have beat Jackson State that year. He was an all-conference quarterback.
What's the saying, Coach? If was a what?
Fifth.
Well, and so right, I'll say this. So your fifth don't get drunk because Deion didn't win if he would have won. So he ain't
No. What I'm saying is I think Deion is a good coach. I think when he was in the SWAC, he proved to be the best coach in the SWAC when he was in there. We'll disagree about that. He beat every coach 2 years in a row.
So, okay, let me ask you a question. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Take his celebrity out. You're telling me right now, if all things are even, that Deion's a better coach than Willie Simmons?
Coach.
Yeah. The size.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's like comparing Belichick to Pete Carroll, right? In this regard. Belichick is known as a schemer, a play designer, all those intricate details about coaching. Belichick is part of it. Pete Carroll is more of a motivator, CEO, kind of recruiting talent, talent evaluation. They're different. They're so different that to compare the two, I think they're both good coaches. I think they're both good coaches.
I said he was on the level of the coaches that I named. That's what I said. Because he's not. Because he has not won a big game.
Okay.
And you can't show me one big game he's won because he hasn't. That's why he doesn't have any conference championships up there in Colorado, and that's why he don't have a national championship at Jackson State.
So when he beat Auburn on Friday, what are you gonna say then? And Hugh Freeze a good coach?
So you think they're gonna beat Auburn?
No, I said when he does. I hope they do. I hope they're
gonna lose that game.
I mean Georgia Tech. I'm talking about. They play Georgia Tech.
I don't think Georgia Tech's a good team. But okay. I tell you one thing. I tell you what. I saw those kids with Georgia Tech. They are definitely not scared. And I would not be surprised if Georgia Tech wins that
Baylor
game.
play. I got confused. Baylor plays Auburn. They play Georgia Tech. So Auburn was on my mind. But no,
we'll see. Because I guess the kid from Liberty is going to start. I'm assuming for Colorado.
Yeah. Like I say, man, the guy won 12 games and you don't consider him a good coach. Okay, that's fine.
Well, because my thing is when you got a team like that, you got to win those celebration bowls. Because especially when I see you get our coach twice. Because you would agree you got our coach twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my thing is it's hard for me to say it when I see it, and then I see TC come right back and Willie come right back and don't get out coach.
Right.
Well, that's my argument. You had the best team.
Okay. Willie and TC, again, Willie wasn't coaching against a genius either when he played against Howard. I think Coach Cole will attest to that.
Oh. I tell you what, you give Willie that team at Jackson State, they wouldn't have lost it. Now I tell you that.
Willie had enough trouble trying to beat a Howard team. So I'm going to leave that right there.
Right.
Well, that Howard team beat Trey Holmes.
Look, hey, we 2 hours strong, baby.
All right, man. Yeah, we about to get out of here, Coach.
Rocky, we'll argue with you, man. We might need to come on Thursday after Mike Vick game. Me and you might need to do a live.
Okay. I'm with it.
We might do a live with the big Mike Vick game.
Well, okay, I don't know what you got. I know me and Rocky will jump on and talk some trash because we had a Shadur watch going on and we had a bunch of people watch. So I thought about that. I know Mike Vick is playing. When is Colorado?
Once I finish my fantasy football drafts, then we wide open. That'll probably be by 9:00. So just let me know.
I'll be back from the barbershop by then.
All right.
Okay, man. Sounds
so
good.
John HB, we're gonna break down that Vick game. And coach, so we're gonna break it down, coach.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
All right, guys,
man. That's right. I got to ref a game, man. I got to ref a game.
All right, coach, you just come on in afterwards.
Yeah.
I had the numbers for you.
Yeah.
All right, Coach.
Okay, man.
I'm gonna let you take us out of here, Coach.
Man, it's been another great show. Another great time, man. Again, I want to continue to thank you guys for watching the show. I want you to subscribe, share. The bigger it is, the better it is, and the more we can bring to you and bring to your living room. We got a lot of things going on in politics that's happening. Vote for who you want to vote for, but one thing about it, you got to vote. That's the only thing you can do that you can have a control of. But besides that, man, life is good, life is great, and guys, life is what you're making. And I used to tell my kids all the time, it's about the choices that you make in life. Some of them good, some of them bad, but any one that you make, hang in there with it. If it don't work out, hey, don't feel like it's you're at the end of the road. Because, hey, if you're feeling bad, get on the rope, tie a knot, and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.